Bismillah nirrahmani rahim, internet and my history class. Welcome to Ben's last minute one take show where we get things done right before the deadline. Today, we'll be discussing a brief history of modern Iran. Let us begin in the most peaceful era in contemporary history, the 1940s. Relax, it was a joke. Germany, the problem child, held major influence in Iran in 1941. With the way the war was going, it seemed that Germany was projected to win, and seeing as though the Germans were beating the Soviets with ease, they didn't want anyone to leave. They didn't want to be bothered by other people, and the Germans seemed to be beneficial to them. Well, despite the pressure from British and Soviets, people who disliked the Germans, the opposition of the Germans, pressured Iran to detox the German fever, and Iran refused. This prompted a British and Russian invasion of Iran, and this led to the Iranian oil fields to be secured for the Allied powers, becoming a major resource in them winning the war. Well, it is clear to see that the Western world feels the need to impose their will on any weaker nation. No wonder why half the world hates the United States. The long history of Western intervention in Iran, there is no wonder why in 1979 the anti-Western radical ideologies swept the nation, and what ensued is called the Iranian Revolution, or some know it as the Islamic Revolution. I'm going to use them interchangeably. This revolution transformed Iran from a pseudo-democracy to an absolute monarchy, leading to an absolute monarchy led by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, founder of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Major demonstrations against the previous regime led to the passage of a new theocratic constitution. A theocratic constitution is essentially like if the United States didn't have a clause separating church and state. So imagine if the United States is a Christian union, and then that would be the same as how Iran is governed today. Ayatollah Khomeini became the supreme leader under this new constitution, and this made the government populist, or rather they had communist influences, completely reversing the capitalist economy, which was very much on the come-up. Laws in schools were also Islamicized, meaning that they spoke Islamic propaganda, anti-Western influences, etc. And all Western influences were banned. So, I have here a picture of Ayatollah Khomeini. He is a very handsome man right there. Very nice beard. Now, Islamification is not that bad under the right interpretations. There are many different interpretations of the Quran. There's three main classes of Islam, and Iran is run by the Shias. The main language of any Islamic nation is Arabic, and Arabic is a theocratic language, meaning that Allah, the word God in Arabic, appears numerous times in the language. MashaAllah, Bismillah, and Astaghfirullah, etc., etc., because the list really does go on. Now, regardless of this harmless effect, some demographics needs were not met. This had many effects on women. For example, they went from the Western freedom of wearing whatever they damn well pleased to being forced to cover up under modest pretenses. Now, in Iran, it's not as bad as other Islamic countries which force women to wear burqas. In Iran, they have women wearing hijabs. So, here is the University of Tehran, which is the capital of Iran, and this was before the 1979 revolution. And then after, still a very gorgeous queen, but you can see the purple and purple that she's not oppressed. she is aristocracy. Purple is a very expensive dye. And it's a Western stereotype that Muslim women are oppressed. That would be culturally insensitive to stay. Many narrow minded Americans feel that way. But at the end of the day, the most interesting part of the Islamic Revolution is the many contemporary effects. Today, Iran is still Islamic and operates under Islamic law and teaches Islamic propaganda in their schools. But isn't that what we do? Our countries hate each other because we see so much of ourselves in each other. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you and good night.